Pardon me. Welcome to the show. Good to see y'all this morning. Kaiju Creator and Timon times 2. Good to see y'all in the chat, man. Welcome to the show and good morning. Um, so, um, if you heard the buzzer, um, this is gonna be where we're moving towards the last few episodes of this show. Marshall Ledbetter, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Not the end of the guild, but maybe at least for now, but who knows? Coming to the close on this show. I feel it stronger than ever today. I've been dancing with it for a little while, but stronger than ever today. And I want to go out with a few specific things here. Excuse me. Um, uh, I want to talk about. I want to talk about what it's like being in the guild, but I don't just want to talk about it. I want you to hear some people from the guild. I do wish more people who are in the guild volunteered to be part of the interview process, but you know, they're not required. I'm required to, so perfectly fine. But a few people did volunteer, and I wouldn't say they're ready to teach, but I do think the things they have to say have their value and could be more valuable to someone else. So like I said, I'm not stopping the guild, not at all. In fact, I can see a lot more I want to do with that. But the guideposts, because man, look, this is episode 61. You ain't even watched the other episodes more than once. You ain't looked up nothing. Fuck you mean? What stop? Anyways, yeah. So ending this this season of the guild and moving into the next one, because Welcome Week is coming around, so the doors are opening back up. I want to go out a certain way. So that's what we're going to do today. But before we can get into that, Dawson, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Before we get into that, we have to do what we do. And that will require me to show you this wonderful intro. Lost all his notes. Gerson, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Ain't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing okay, man. So yeah, Welcome Week is coming back around, guys. For those of you who don't know, it's a single week. I do it like 4 times out the year, where I open up the doors to the guild and allow admission for a week. The guild, it's basically self-initiation school. I tend to teach things in a left-hand path kind of way, but I'm making an effort not to do that as much for the benefit of the students. But sometimes I can't help myself. Anyways, the guild, 3-month-long continuous cohort class. Continuous cohort class. Okay, it's continuous over the span of 3 months. The link is in the description. I got all the details for you. There's plenty of places to ask a question if you're concerned. But today I'm going to give it to you from the horse's mouth. Not just me telling you Because who's gonna believe me, right? Fuck this nigga Aries, right? I know, I get it, It's cool, I get it. But I want to give you a chance to listen to some of them. So I'm gonna premiere these videos here, these interviews here. I may post the interviews separately. Um, Thinking about it, but that's what I want to do today. I'm gonna holler at you later on, boss. Do your thing. Hey man, you know where to find me. You know where to find me, player. Do what you do. So yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna go through these interviews. And it's a lot of material, so I'm gonna do it over the span of 3 or 4 episodes. And as we listen to the interviews, I'm gonna talk about some things a little bit because I want to give you an idea of what's going on in here. Self initiation, especially today, it's work. And I'm not telling you you can't do it, but I don't want to give you any illusions about what you're getting yourself into. I don't want to I don't want to bullshit you to get your sale. All right? Because I could. I could, boy. Put on that nice robe. Oh, yes, sir, boss. You're going to be extra magicianal. Extra magicianal. That's going to be you, sir. Hey, you're going to be the super creator. Yeah, you love it. I know. You's a chosen, sir. I said you's a chosen. What a piece of shit. But yeah, like I said, link in the description. Check it out. It's a click away. Don't get annoyed. But we're gonna get into this today because I really do appreciate the cohorts who volunteer their time, their perspective, their words, and they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it. I'm the only one who's obligated to do anything in the guild. No one in the guild but me is ever obligated to do anything, and so um, I really do appreciate them. So we're gonna start off here, kind of letting you know who we're listening to. Let them introduce themselves a little bit, um, and then we'll start to chew on some of the side dishes. Okay. So yeah, enjoy. No, no, no. Yeah, I guess we can start with the first question. Just kind of introducing yourselves. Who are you, and how long have you been into spiritual stuff? Sure.
Yeah, I'm Dan. I've been into spirituality since I was a kid, but I had hiatus where I did end up disinterested, thinking that things were bottlenecked to my upbringing. You know what I was shown, but I always kind of feel like I saw the power of belief, and I knew there was something there, and I always wanted to know where the space was for people's own realities to be legitimate in their lives. That's something that stuck with me the whole way through, and seeing it play out in physical life.
What kind of stuff were you raised with?
Contemporary kind of Christian.
That's what I figured. I just want to say
the idea that that people would end up cast out for not much, straying off the path. It didn't make sense.
so. There's going to be 4 people here who chose to do the interview. First of these is Daniel, Kaiju creator. Um, I had to edit some of how the conversation went, because Daniel actually takes the time to think about what he's saying. But that results in dead air, so I had to make sure cut some things, some space, but um, yeah, he actually chooses his words, or if he doesn't know what to say, he won't say anything. So that's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing at all. But yeah, Daniel's first here, 1 of 4. Um, and also keep this in mind, guys. Um, Part of the reason I want to let you guys see this stuff is so routinely somebody's looking to do this. They want to get involved, and there's this thing that's telling them that their experience is so different from anyone else who's doing this work. Um, and it's not. It's not. Yes, you're unique, but being unique is common. It's typical. Okay? Find the places where it overlaps. Find the places where you're just like these people. Because a lot of people have been raised Christian and had different traumas about it. So, um, yeah, keep your ears open, listen up. Ryan Morrow 77, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Man is present. Yeah, cause you're curator. Yeah, man. Make sure I set you guys up. So I don't want to. Because it's already uncomfortable to put yourself out there, and I appreciate you guys doing it. I really fucking do. Because you didn't have to. You didn't have to. So I most certainly appreciate it. So yeah, that's first on the roster. We got Dan, Kaiju creator. Okay. Go ahead.
Like similar to Dan, I was raised with like a fundamentalist like Muslim background. Like this might be going into like segueing into like a different like other questions, but like as of joining the guild, like one of the things is that like the religion that I thought that I left and stuff like that was wrong. It's not so much that it was wrong, and that had a lot of like utility in my life, like growing up, and so I think that part of that is like growing up with that framework. I've been into spirituality like basically my whole life from that point of view of like being raised Muslim, but Islam has that continuity with the physical and the non-physical. Like after the physical body dies, it has continuity after that. I think that something that noticed was that physicalism has been like crept into the religions in like very subtle and like not so subtle ways. And like that I realized that when like I was raised with like Islam and all those views, but then I was going to school for basically like biology and neuroscience, and like I couldn't believe in both of them at the same time, and I didn't know why. Like now I have the words because of the guild, but the frameworks and the metaphysics contradicted. But at the time, it was just like I can't be Muslim and believe in evolution because they don't, like, you can't do that. But I had like a real kind of like meltdown from that because I was like into the religion.
Second on the roster is Amar or Glitch. Once again, keep in mind, find the places where you overlap. Because I really did like what he said here about, when asked how long have you been into spirituality, his answer was, basically all my life, even though the beginning was religion as he understood it. I'm very much the same way. I've always been fascinated with, when I was younger, what I considered religion. Um, in fact, it boggled me that other people weren't more concerned about it. Like, this seems like the most important thing. Like, if like, because as a kid, you don't know that they're just going through, your parents and stuff are just going through the motions, and they haven't really thought deeply about it. Um, and so yeah, like I remember as a kid, I had to been, oh God, I can't tell you how old I was. Uh, it was close to 8 or 9 maybe, but at that time my dad had been taking us to church, and I chose to get baptized. Like, I didn't tell him or anything. Um, I remember when when they walked us in there from the Sunday school with the kids. I saw his face and he seemed surprised to see me in there. Um, I I prayed a lot. Um, it seemed the most natural thing to do based on what was supposed to be the case. Um, 'Cause some people have this relationship with religion where they never were really good at it. They didn't actually lean into anything. They just kind of sat on the sidelines, maybe did what they were told, um, and then got upset, or was traumatized. And I wasn't like that. Uh, I was in it, and I wasn't crusading and telling people what they should do. But I was in it. About 14 years old is when I told my mother and her husband at the time that I didn't believe in God. Um, and at the time, all I knew of that was the Christian God. I had gotten deeply into the natural sciences and, unbeknownst to me, the metaphysics of physicalism. And just like Amar said here, when he went to college, that conundrum between what the natural sciences are telling us and what religions are telling us. Um, and like I've said before, the metaphysics contradict each other. I wouldn't have had the words for that. But now I can tell it to you backwards and forwards. And so he's not the only one who's like that. In fact, what I generally find is most people are so full of this rebellion against religion that they don't take the time to look at what it is they're doing. They look for anything that's rejecting religion and they cling to it. I'll tell you right now, your religions have plenty of utility. In fact, y'all folks who've chosen to look beyond the bounds of the religion you were raised in are actually in the perfect position to to not only reimagine but to reinvent these things. But the rebellion will get in your way. I guarantee you. It's like clockwork. You can't run towards something trying to run away from something else. And the rebellion is running away from something. The rebellion is running away from something. So yeah, throughout this you'll hear multiple times where the cohorts will mention physicalism. And I do so as well, because I'm a metaphysician. We talk about metaphysics. If you're wanting to self-initiate, more especially to build a system from the ground up, you're going to need to have a basic understanding of metaphysics. Unless, of course, you just arbitrarily pick words and feel good. I was going to be a dick. I was going to be really mean. Here, let's continue, okay? So that's number 2. That's Amar. Glitch.
Okay, well, I'm a society eject, and known me by name is Ray. I've been in, well, I grew up in a religion, also Christianity. I want to say I've been in spirituality going on 2 years. Really been in spirituality. Christianity offered spiritualities, but I wasn't really doing none in the practice because there was a lot of confusion going on. A lot of answers couldn't be answered that I had, and I didn't know how the proper way to search the answers I was looking for. That's about it. But to really dive in like spirituality, to really know what spirituality was, I say about a good 2 years, maybe a year and a half, to be honest.
So
All right, smooth. Number 3, society ejects or Ray. And yeah, just like I was saying, some people they're in religion, even raised in it, but never really lean into it much. And just like he was saying, that was his experience with it, Christianity specifically. But what did get him to come around to actually seeking or being interested in spirituality was wanting some answers to some questions. One that's common, and he shared this one as well, is the idea about what is death? What happens after death? Is there anything after death? And this goes back to what we were talking about with Glitch. It's that the metaphysics of physicalism says no. It says what you are is a meat bag that's really not even a meat bag. It's a bunch of cells that really aren't even cells, that are a bunch of particles, which really aren't particles, which are subatomic particles, which really aren't subatomic particles. They're quantum. Okay, see? Stop, right? Physicalism, materialism, the metaphysics that the natural sciences are built on is not conducive to spirituality. I know there are a lot of people who will try to reconcile them by just putting words together, almost literally, but it doesn't work that way. Nothing really works that way. And so he wanted answers. He had questions and he wanted some answers for them to help bring stuff together, to help at first, probably to soothe the pain, to help ease the pain, to ease the curiosity. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. There are plenty of people who start out like that. And as you'll hear later on, there's all kind of places you can end up with that. Rocky, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Just in time. You too, Seymour. Good to see you. Good morning. It's a delight to see the cohorts sharing their stories. Yeah, the ones who wanted to share. Nah, it's all right. You guys aren't obligated. That's why I say I appreciate you guys for actually, the ones who did, for actually coming up here and putting yourself out there. Because I can make it look easy, but I make everything I do look easy because I'm like that. This shit ain't easy, though. This shit ain't easy, putting yourself out there. So I most certainly motherfucking appreciate it. The long way. Alright, let's continue.
Be honest.
So yes, my name is Rocky. I don't know if you really wanted to describe who we are, but like I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a nature lover, I'm a nurse, I'm a student, I'm a professional student. I've been in school, well, I was in school for like 20 years. And I've always been interested in spirituality since I was a little kid. Like my dad was a Black nationalist. He was a security guard for the Nation of Islam when the Nation of Islam started. Of course, they split up and it all fell apart, but he still was a practicing Muslim. So I grew up with some religion when I was younger, But that kind of fell off because he had went through a divorce and it kind of destroyed him financially. But what got me into spirituality really young was he used to have all these books on the origin of civilizations, spirituality, Islam, all of these different spiritual books. And I used to look at them when I was a kid. I really didn't understand them. And obviously, a lot of those words made no sense to me, but I always used to find them interesting. But then he lost a lot of those books when he got divorced. When I became 27, I didn't recognize who I was spiritually. I couldn't put the words to what spirituality meant to me. So I started to dive into spirituality around 27. And I would say like in my mid 30s is when I really started seeking help outside of myself. Because initially I was doing it by myself, but I really wasn't getting anywhere and I wasn't getting a lot of the answers for the questions that I have. So then I started seeking help around that time.
All right, smooth. And the fourth person who's gonna be here on the roster is Rocky or Leah. Um, Out of all four of them, I've been working with her the longest. Um, so you can kind of get a little bit of and she'll even mention it much later in the interview process. Um, so you can get a little bit of an idea. Uh, just like Society Ejects, she was looking for some answers, and just like many of you, you start out doing it by yourself. And it's not to say you can't. I don't want to tell you what you can't do, but I can tell you you can only go so far. You can only go so far. Okay? Sorry, I'm annoyed and I had to stop myself before I continued while being annoyed. Yes, I'm still annoyed. One of the things I like about Rocky is, like you said, she's a professional student. And so the way she approaches learning is there's a particular kind of focus that she has that I can appreciate. You know, focus. If you focus too much, sometimes it can be detrimental. If you don't focus enough, it can be detrimental as well. So it's not to say whether or not this is good or bad. It's just something I can appreciate. Um, but yeah, she's the fourth person here. So these are the introductions, if you will, just to kind of give you an idea of who's going to be talking out throughout the next few episodes we're going to do with this. And all of them have been at the guild for different amounts of time. They've had their own experiences. And so I want you to kind of get a feel for it. Okay? Because I can tell you what the guild is. I can tell you what it's going to be like. And that's one thing. But hearing it from some people who are here, who've done it, who continue to do it, there's something there I can't give you. And so I still want you to be able to have it. So we're going to do this. Seymour, I woke up hella late that day. Hope there's more to come. Hey, man, it happens sometimes. It's cool. Either way, I'm going to be here. Hey, man, you know where to find me. All right, so that was the introduction section. So now we're going to kind of jump into, well, that was the first question, but the second question of the interview, okay? And like I said, I'm going to stretch this over a couple episodes because I want to take my time with it. And two, it's kind of a lot of material. So, without further ado, but the second question was, have you had a class on a spiritual topic with anyone else before? And if so, how was that class for you in retrospect? Now, before I go further, whatever. I want to let you know, when I'm asking this question, and also when I do interviews with people, I like to send them the questions ahead of time. That way, no one feels like they're being cornered or pinned down, and they have time to kind of think about the question, depending on how much they want to anyways. But when I ask this question, it's because there are a lot of people out here teaching, running what they call classes, and my intent isn't to shit on them. I would love to. I find that very fun. I rain on parades, okay? So it's not because I don't want to, all right? But I'm not because I'd rather give you the information and let you decide, okay? When it comes to the guild, 3 months. Each month there's a block of 3 weeks, okay? So there's 3 weeks, 3 times, and within the week there are 3 scheduled sessions. So each month there's 9 scheduled sessions, 6 of which I record for you so you have the audios. So 3 months, 3 scheduled sessions a week, 2 recordings a week. So what is that? 6 recordings a month. Okay, and not just me talking, because you can come to YouTube for that. You talking, the other people who are doing the same work with you talking. You're part of what you're making. Like when I set up the guild, even though I'd love for you to stick around and not just spend more money, but actually do the work. Because I even give a discount when you come back. Anyways, I want to set you up for success. Like, even if you decide, hey, Arius, I'm going to come fuck with you, and then you just bounce, I'm not going to try and stop you. I've tried before. I've done that. And I'll say something to you. That's about it, though. I'm not going to try and, get you in a headlock. Because it's up to you. But I want your pocket to be full of shit you can take, say, fuck Arius, and set out on your own. Perfectly fine. You want to do that, you cool too. So yeah, I like to make sure you set up with that. And nothing pre-recorded. We do it live. You guys have questions about something, we go through it in class. Period. So yeah, but I wanted to get their experience of learning out here in the spiritual community. So you can see whether or not it's the same as what you've had or similar to what you had. Maybe they've done something that you were thinking about doing and you get to hear them do it, okay? So, there's my further ado, right? All right, let's go.
Yeah, no, I didn't take a class, but I've watched people provide their information and teach, and after seeing what you do, kind of shine a different light on everything else, because you do take it down to something that really anybody could jump on, and it'd be practical for them to hear the stuff you're saying. And it's not to say that I don't go back and see some of these people, and there is value there, but there's like mires of interpretation that you could fall into, that it's easier to at least see what's going on. And there's so many spots where you can delude yourself and feel like you've done something when really it's you might be helping yourself right immediately and feeling good, but it's really a step backwards. Been a lot of widespread value that you get from from the way you're putting things, and you know, at least show yourself where you've been fooling yourself. Even if you drop spirituality because it's too hard and too much, you know, it's right at the ground floor of what people need to address, no matter what they're doing. Oh, well, you were asking about other people's stuff. I came around to what you're doing, but yeah, I really see things different.
Mm-hmm. So for the most part, it was watching lots of information and lots of videos.
Yeah, and really pursuing it, but it wasn't in my house, you know. It was like looking across the street, and you know, it's
looking across the street. No, I get you.
It's helpful to start addressing yourself right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. No, that's definitely what it calls you to do. It's definitely what it calls you to do. Self-delusion. Self-delusion. Everyone loves to say self-knowledge. It feels really good to say it. But you got to check for self-delusion. You know, most people who are scammed think they're smart enough to recognize a scam. It's self-delusion, okay? The people who think they're smart enough to recognize their own self-delusion are usually the worst. You have to check for it. You have to check for it. And not just check for it, because it doesn't stop. There's no level you get to where you're above self-delusion. What you're doing is you're cultivating systems to help check for the self-delusion, as opposed to using how confident you feel to determine whether or not you may be bullshitting yourself, because that's what people do. Oh, I feel really confident about this, so they just stop. Good. You're wanting to develop systems to check for the self-delusion, okay? Because it's rampant out here. Like he was talking about the mires of interpretation. Part of the reason I really wanted this question in here is because the way spirituality is going out here, any and everyone can claim to be competent enough to teach. Any and everyone can claim what they're saying is relevant or valid without even questioning relevance or validity as a concept. People will repeat this, that, or the third and add their own little sprinkle on there and claim to be teaching. So there's a lot of stuff out here. There's a lot of stuff, and the climate is that any and everyone can do it, and everything's the same, and we're all right. And if everybody's saying the same thing, somebody wrong. Most people use this stuff to just find a new way to feel better and do what you want, but that ain't doing the work. I tell you what. I tell you what. Okay, so let me continue.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about, I have taken a few of like people's classes in kind of like the spiritual community or whatever. So first I took Panic's class. That was like 2017. Was that long ago? I took Panic's class, and then I took a Dreamwise class. I took Khadija, had a chocolate class, Panic's wife. I took that class. I was in like Ravana Noon's stuff for a little bit. And then Travis, I didn't take his classes per se, but I was in the like the Zoom study groups and stuff before he even had the classes. So basically, like as he was putting the classes together, and I don't think he would mind me saying that his classes are built from or like taken from the books and stuff that he reads and stuff. And so like a lot of the material that he was talking about and the books that I got that he recommended and stuff were like the exercises that were in the classes, but I didn't take the classes per se. And I think like in so many words, the main difference between like all the people's classes I just named, like the material in it versus yours, is like it really comes down to like what is you and the direction that, like the implicit direction that they teach in is pointing towards physicalism, and then for your teachings, it's basically putting like everything in the right category, and it's like turning away from the physicalism. And I think there's just like a heavy like undercurrent of physicalism in a lot of other people's teachings. I think that would be like the main thing that I see. It's like there's always a reduction to like the body.
You know, peep the juxtaposition, right? Because Kaja Creator, he hadn't taken anybody's classes like proper, right? But he listened to a bunch of different people before, and even probably from listening to them, you know, took a bit of direction from them. Whereas Glitch here, he actually took the classes. Like I'm sure a good portion of you noticed some of the names: Panic, Khadijah, Dreamrise, Ravana Noon, uh, Travis. Okay, and like I said, bro, I love shitting on people. I'm a hater. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means I'm a hater. And so, but I say that to say this though. Um, I don't encourage it. Uh, what I do encourage is people to really examine what they're getting from that. And that's part of why I'm asking this question here. Because like he's saying, most of how people are teaching this stuff is trying to reduce this stuff to the body or something physical. It's what I call mystifying the mundane. They don't talk about metaphysics. And it's not to say who's right or bad or nothing like that. You don't know. You don't know. Just like, where's the Bobby video? I gotta show you the Bobby video. Just listen to the Bobby video. Hold on.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level, and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'll come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff and people, yeah. But everybody's ignorant. You see what I'm saying? They play on your emotion. And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then.
That one. See, look, when everybody in the room is ignorant, the ignorant can't tell that the person who's talking isn't necessarily ignorant as well, especially if they're using words they never heard, especially if they position themselves as a teacher or an authority figure who's knowledgeable of a thing. Even more so when they don't give you the space to question not only the material but them. Okay? And that's rampant out here. So I'm not trying to point the finger at just one person. But yeah. So just to kind of once again, let's hear some of the juxtaposition of different people's perspective based on what their experiences have been. Okay? So here, let me continue. Because like you're saying, physicalism. Most people are teaching this and reducing it, corresponding it, and then reducing it all to the physical world. And look, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's not to say the person is now Satan or something, but it's wrong. It's wrong. But you wouldn't know that unless you know metaphysics. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like the pineal gland, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like chakras
And so it sounds like you went through a few different kinds of classes. Like how were those classes structurally? Like the amount of time, how often, the material. Like how were those structurally? Because I'm not familiar with the class.
It was 2020. I looked it up in my email. I was like, ain't no way it could have been 2017. You know, like, it was way too long ago. Yeah, 2020. So his class ran 4 weeks, and it was on, I'm pretty sure, like, it was basically like, it was on the weekends for 4 weeks. And then...
So like Saturday and Sunday?
I want to say just Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say just one day. But it was like it was like you know how you talk. So like some of the recordings are like 7-8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. But there was no kind of like, he wouldn't assign homework per se. And then like, I remember like one of the exercises that he said is like that the deity book. It's like you open it and you can open to any deity because like they're all you and they're all like activating parts of your subconscious mind. So it's like you just open it and it's like whatever deity, like Ogun, like I am Ogun, and you just like go down the list of like I am this deity, I am that deity, and like you feel that in your mind and all that. But it's like doing all that, the conception of self that's solidified or like calcified is the physical conception of self. Mm-hmm. That's never like hit on like that. The framework and the fundamentals of that is
there.
Never
it is
on. And yeah, but the structure of it was like no homework assigned. It's basically him. It was like him lecturing at you. Mm-hmm. You could ask questions, but not really challenging what he would say. If you challenge what he say, it'd be like basically it's like you're paying me to talk to you, like just kind of like I'm the expert and you're here to listen to me teach you about like what it is type shit. So, but also I think he did have he was able to pick up on a lot of the pretense in our questioning, and like looking back, we did have like the pretense, like he would point towards having like a non-physical conception, but the way he did it still like brought with you the physical conception of self. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, because you were saying like it was in the framework and the fundamentals, and so like I guess maybe probably a few distinctions he could have made. You know, he did, and he was kind of pointing in that direction, but didn't quite articulate it.
Yeah, and then I know because I got his book, his first one. I didn't get his Dark Power book, but his first one, he talks about how, like, basically, like the seat of the soul is the pineal, and like you have to activate the pineal chakras, and that's equivalent to the Goetia and like the subconscious and like all that line of thought. And then.
Malik, good to see you in the chat, man. Welcome to the show. Yeah, guys. So yeah, he took Panic's class. I remember Panic had 2 different classes he did. I know this because the Panic class that I took was the second class he came out with. And I was like, if not the very first cycle of that class, maybe the second. Because like it was funny because they have the recordings. Like he said right out the gate, like this is gonna be one of the worst classes you've ever taken, because it's basically like when I tell you I'm a piece of shit, it's because he didn't know what he was doing yet. He was trying to figure that part out because it was a new class. Um, but yeah, uh, and no disrespect to Panic. I came up on Panic. I like y'all motherfuckers who think you've listened to Panic. You ain't listened as much as I have. Please, I'll fight you about it. I'll fight you about it. I'm so serious. So, I don't disrespect him. I don't think he's trying to disrespect Panic either. But 4 weeks, one day each week, like he could have just said 4 days, but say 4 weeks. Because I'm sure he wasn't available throughout the week. Like Panic was a particular way, and once again, no disrespect to Panic, but not only did Panic not come up the way most of us came up with Christianity, Panic wasn't interested in talking to you niggas. Anyways, aside from Panic, what was he talking about? What was he trying to say? Okay? Because this one's a popular theme today. It's all you. Oh, I'm all these gods. It's you with inside of you, with you, and I'm you, and you're you, and we're you, and all this is you. You're everything. Right? Look, that shit's good motivation, bruh. And I don't even have to disagree with you. All I gotta do is just poke one thing. Well, okay, so you're you, and this is you, and that's you, and this is you, and this is you, and this is you, and you're all you, right? Okay, cool. Small, but what is you? The niggas crumble. Like, I'm speaking plain English. But it's highlighting something that's going overlooked. Just like he said, you get that exercise, you go through the deity book. I am Ogun. I am Zeus. Okay, I am Jesus. I'm all these gods, right? It's motivating. It feels good, right? But if you don't look at what is you, what happens? What happens is everything you had in that little bucket labeled you goes unexamined. And so you end up reducing all that shit to your personality. And you overlook your bullshit. Because look, bro, by the same degree that you are all these gods, so is a roach. So are white folks, right? And they love melanin, melanated being. White folks is too. Don't get me started on melanin, bro. A dust particle is everything. And so simply saying you're everything ain't it. I get it. It's a change in how you used to think. And for a lot of you, all you're really doing is trying to find a way to break out of your old thinking. Most claim to have already done it. That's how they do it. They just claim to be above it. Anyways, here's what you're trying to do with an exercise like that, okay? Because I don't just want to be critical. Well, no. I do just want to be critical, but I won't. When you're doing one of those exercises that he's suggesting there, like where you're going through the book, the deity book, right? And you're picking a deity. I am Oshun. I am Kamazats, right? You're going through the different gods. I am this one. I am that one. Those are positive confessions, okay? The point is to try and reshape you. That's what you're doing in making those positive affirmations, those positive confessions. Something I would suggest, and most people don't really understand what they're looking at when they do this, is what's called the 42 Laws of Ma'at. More specifically and more accurately, they're the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at. Okay, just like I said, those were positive confessions. I am this, I am that, I am that, I am this. Positive confessions. For my those 42 negative confessions, it's the same exercise, but as opposed to building on and just piling all these new God stuff, you're shedding. It's a negative confession. I have never stolen. I have never lied. I have never cheated. Okay, those negative confessions. It's like was it Inanna? From the Sumerian pantheon, where she descends to the underworld, and as she goes down, she has to shed this and that and this and that and this and that. That's what those negative confessions are doing. Okay, it's like in the Egyptian pantheon, where the heart is weighed with a feather. Well, what's going to keep the heart heavy is not having shed what is addressed in those negative confessions. That's why you have the negative confessions. Contract is law. Contract is law. These are agreements. And so you can't go in there with those unexamined agreements, because then your heart is heavier than a feather. The details, guys, the details make all the difference. So there's a lot of people teaching different stuff, and teaching is difficult. It's not just telling you information. Not only do you have to know the information so many different ways, you have to know how to present it. You have to know how to listen to students, because the student doesn't know how to ask the question they want to ask yet. And so you have to know how to pick up on the question that the student is trying to ask. Just like you were saying, Panic could hear their pretense. He could hear the pretense in the questions. Okay? So there's a lot that goes into being a teacher, aside from feeling confident that you can do it. And when you put yourself above debate, all you're going to get is feeling confident. You're not going to get closer. All right? So yeah, that was Panic class. And he went through a few other classes. Here, let him talk to you about it. Stop listening to me, right?
His wife's class was basically kind of like the he didn't have PowerPoints. He was just like it was just him. She had like a little PowerPoint going. And her homework, she did have homework, but it was like you basically like you do like a chakra meditation. It was like chakra spinning. So and she got the technique from, I forgot the book name, but like she basically had us do that, and then it was hella people, and what it basically ended up being was everyone kind of just talked about their experience of what came up during during their meditation, and then like that was like 4 hours. So that was basically the class. Like she kind of like she had PowerPoints on like the correlations of like chakras, or like one thing I remember, because she was she did massage therapy for a long time, and I remember she gave us like a picture of points on like the body, and it would be like if you have pain here, it's because you're like burdened by a childhood problem or something, like hopelessness. And like if you're like on your lower back, a certain point would be like masculine trauma or something. So just like, and so it was a lot of correlations or reductions to like the body again. And then the same basically, I think.
Oh, go ahead and get used to it, because I'm going to stop it when I want to stop it. Yeah. Anyways, being a dick. Look, guys, a lot of people are going to reduce things to the body, okay? I'm not going to do that. Not only because it's metaphysically inaccurate, but because it's short-sighted. Okay, here, look, let me talk to you a bit. Let me talk to you for a second, okay? And once again, you can get this in the fucking link, guys. Chakras are not something in the body. Okay? You can correspond if you like to. You can correspond anything to anything. Just because you have a correlation between two things doesn't mean one is causing the other or one is the other. Metaphysics is philosophy. This is basic philosophy. Anyways, yeah. Look, the root chakra is all of the physical world. It's the whole physical world, the entire collection of universes in a multiverse. It's all physical reality. That is the root chakra. Okay? Chakras are not spinning wheels of energy in your body. Okay? They're not spinning wheels of energy in your body. Because, especially in the West, when you think of a spinning wheel, what do you think of? It's like a wheel on a bicycle. But, like, if you go back to the place where this shit came from, what is a spinning wheel? It's like the thing you make, you spool thread on. Like you take, see, I don't even know how to tell you how to use it. These systems are contextual for the people who use them. There we go, this thing. Because I've seen these, like not in person. I've seen pictures of them. Fuck you mean? So making that analogy wouldn't hit, but you never know that it's not hitting for you. You spend your time convincing yourself that it hit because you corresponded to something in the physical body. Oh, also, he was excited about the fact that she was a massage therapist because he does that. Hey, holla at your boy. You need that tension? Holla at him. He might hook you up or something. Maybe not on price, but on that tension. Anyways. So yeah, these aren't things in the body. As a matter of fact, the panic? The pineal gland being the seat of the soul. The seat of the soul, right? Now, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you that's wrong. Why? Because it's not the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a correspondence. Okay? You can, like I say, you can correspond anything to anything. The seat of the soul is the third eye chakra. Okay? Well, it's the third eye, isn't it? No. It's a piece of meat. On this map, okay? The third eye chakra is going to correspond to this little space that's known as the da'af on the tree of life. I'm using the tree of life because the tree of life is more expansive than the sevenfold pattern of the chakras, and some of you are familiar with it. Anyways, it's going to correspond to that little space there, okay? Actually, everything beyond da'af corresponds to the clip-off. Anyways, well, that's important because primordial is clip-off. Non-physical is tree of life, and Malkuth is physical. Okay? The lowest point of the clip-off, like not the lowest Sephiroth, the lowest point on the lowest Sephiroth is Da'ath. It's where soul, which is primordial, sits. It has nothing to do with the little piece of meat in your brain. It's the lowest point of the lowest Sephiroth on the clip-off. It's the bottom. Look. And this is part of the reason I use the words I use when I use them. For the end context. All right, soul is in context of primordial. Spirit in context of non-physical. And body in context of physical. Okay? It's the lowest point of the primordial realm. Like, guys, this stuff isn't in the body. All right, and I know there's going to be the idea, well, isn't some of this about the physical world? And you know what? You're not wrong. But let me give you an analogy to kind of contextualize that, okay? You go in the bathroom and you take a shit. That shit is in some respect part of you, right? came out of you, went all the way through you. It's a complete product of you. That's the degree to which the physical has anything to do with this. So I'm not telling you to get rid of the physical. You're not going to be able to. You're going to try to ignore it, but you'll smell it. Look, yes, the physical has something to do with it, but you cannot reduce this stuff to the physical, because then you completely miss what is being pointed at. And most people have a tendency to do that because the cultural metaphysics of today is physicalism, which is why you'll try and reduce things to particles, cells, organs, dark matter, quantum, this and that. Y'all motherfuckers don't even know what that shit is. But the word is sciencey and spooky, so it must be the thing. It's just wrong, bro. And it's basic metaphysics. But fuck Arius, because he don't know. Anyways, let me continue, guys. But yeah, you cannot reduce this stuff to the physical world. It's going to be wrong. You're looking at it ass backwards.
Dreamwise is like, he basically got taught from Panic and like took it up a notch. So, but I remember when I consumed his content like a lot too, like back on 2020. And so a lot of all his videos were basically reducing it to the pineal, and then like the movie decoding and like decoding that back to the body too. So like what's that movie? Split. It was like Split, Unbreakable, and another movie, and it was like the pineal, the what's that other gland? Fuck, I should know.
Pituitary, hypothalamus.
Yeah, those two. So yeah, so it's like those are the big three, and those are like the three brothers, and there's like another three like astrology thing you can correlate that to, and so and then talking about like the 12 zodiac signs of the cranial nerves and all that. So but Travis, he steered away from that, so that's why initially I like went to Travis, because like I was going in the direction of like, okay, like I know that's not it, but when I went to try, like I kind of like what Bobby said. He's like, you go in like from one pot to another, something like that. So like from the stove, I don't know what he says, but basically like I was in the same place, it just like kind of looked different, and I didn't
like, I think it's like from the pot to the frying pan. I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, but like in retrospect, everything kind of lines up to that. Like I was really looking for all that stuff that I got from them. So it's like I was looking for like the wish fulfillment and like the reducing it to the body, because like that made me feel good as like identifying with the body and stuff like that, and like the whole narrative of Omar with that conception and like all the bullshit that I was bullshitting myself, like they were just like giving that to me because I was buying it, literally. But yeah.
And yeah, please keep in mind, I'm gonna say it again because somehow I come off that way. I get it. I'm a hater. I don't dislike the other teachers. Personally, it may seem like that because I'm a hater and I'm critical. But I love the subject. Like you mow your grass every day, you manicuring that shit, put the little fertilizer out there, right? And somebody come with a nasty poodle and just like shit in your yard. Don't pick it up and then wave at you as they walk away. Let's stop. What you talking about? I'm about to say something. So yeah, I don't dislike other teachers, but I will tell you, we're not talking about the same stuff. Not only are we not talking about the same stuff, most people are wrong about what they're saying. It's not say something's wrong with them, because real shit, bruh. Look, it's not like you were lied to in kindergarten. It's what you could handle in kindergarten is what you got. And most of kindergarten is about making you feel good about being in school. It's not, I mean, you're going to learn something here and there, but it's mostly for you to feel included and good. And that's what you get. And I can't say it's wrong, but I will say it's not what I'm doing. Not because I'm better than them, because there's plenty of things I'm sure they're better at me in, you know, but this is my shit, I'm telling you. You can't reduce this stuff back to the body. And folks will sell you this shit with wish fulfillment. You're going to be able to change your physical life. You're going to get the things you want. Your money going to recycle. You know, you're going to vibrate a certain way. You got to vibrate. Nigga, what is you again? What's vibrating? Come on, look. You think you're something that you got to vibrate higher. Okay, well, what's the thing that's vibrating? Well, you. What is that? Don't reduce it to a particle. Why would the soul need to vibrate? Why would it need to vibrate? What would it mean for a soul to vibrate? You're trying to put things together. I know. You're trying your hardest to put things together. You feel like you're getting close. Okay, cool, smooth. I get you. Vibration. What the fuck are we talking about, right? Bro, I do this shit. But you can't hear me because everybody say that shit. Everybody say this shit. I do this shit. Vibration is a threefold pattern. Vibration is a threefold pattern. What's the third Hermetic principle? Vibration. It ain't got nothing to do with particles. It ain't got nothing to do with particles. There's nothing in your body that needs to unlock or vibrate. I'm so serious. I wouldn't even say you need to vibrate. I'd rather say, look, what is you? What are we talking about? What's at the center of what we're trying to talk about? Because look, bro, you let me go on, bro, I will go all day giving you different things about other teachers I dislike. And where they're wrong. Like, not even about them personally. I could do personally, but I probably won't do personally. I just talk about what they talk about. Just like, no, this is wrong. Like, you can call what I'm saying an opinion. You see, motherfuckers will say everything's an opinion. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to people who tell you everything is an opinion. It's a way to justify protecting what they're saying without having to scrutinize it. Because if everything is an opinion, why listen to their opinion? It's just opinion, right? Even if everything's opinion, what makes the opinion you have of yourself informed? Bruh, motherfuckers got a lot of slick moves to avoid scrutiny, to avoid criticism. Please give me the smoke. Because look, you catch me slipping, I'm going to learn something. It's boring being right all the time. Because I'm not even right all the time. In my subject, I'm right. Oh yeah, the third movie in the series of movies he was talking about. Split, Unbreakable, and Mr. Glass. It's Trinity. It's a trio of movies. But niggas got the decoded movies from Panic, and Panic got it from Bobby. Look, man, it's not that there's a spooky group of people trying to show you, trying to drop you hints. Using the movie to make an analogy. Using the movie to make an analogy. 3,000 years ago, if you was living in Kemet, What are movies? What would they have used to make an analogy? The stories they know, the people they're talking to would know. Those would be the stories of the mythology. We don't have that today. What do you have? What stories do you have in common with the other people around you? TV and movies. It could be so simple, bro. It could be so simple. Like, stop decoding movies. Only way you're going to decode a movie is if somebody encoded something. Ain't nobody trying to give you hints. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. I get it. It's what people say. It makes you feel special to think you're the one who's decoding the secret knowledge that no one else knows about. And then you find a little group of friends and finally you don't feel alone and y'all feel together and you drop each other hints like you encoding something. Like, bro, it's cap. It's emotionalism. It's emotionalism. I've been there. I'm not telling you just to shit on you. I've been you. This nigga said outer space is melanin. I don't think I'll ever the other nigga said dinosaurs are spiritual beings. Them niggas on stage. Bruh. I can't make other people check their work. But I can set you up to set yourself up for success in this respect. If you don't address your own capacity for self-delusion, self-deception, for bullshitting yourself, you'll fall into a spiritual circle jerk. Look, you come back with jizz on your hand or some shit on your hand. Look, I don't know what to tell you, player. You'd be lucky if I had a white whack for you, man. Look, let me continue, guys. Let me continue. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, so with other class, the only class I took was Travis. You know, I didn't know what I was looking for at that time. So as I look back now, I can see the framework that Travis was coming from. Definitely was coming from the middle path and the Vedic systems. You know, and a lot of things was like meditating work, chakras, but you know, he was speaking from the chakras not being in the body, but the way I was receiving it, that the chakra was still in the body. Like I gotta activate my throat chakra, my third eye, my sexual chakra. You know, it just was my interpretation was all fucked up. You know, but that was my first class I ever took, so I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't really expecting nothing. And then after that, I found you. I was watching Dreamwise videos, but even back then, like Dreamwise.
Wait, what did you say about Dreamwise? It kind of broke up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You said you was watching Dreamwise videos?
Yeah, I used to watch Dreamwise videos.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
And a lot of his shit was that he always reduced it back to the physical body. You know, and I peeped that out because they did a lot of that in Christianity. You know, they were make the dissensions from the body and the spirit, but still relate the spirit back to being like trapped in the body or something. Bobby Hemming videos, but Bobby Hemming shit used to go over my head. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the whole Brother Polite movement, Nature Boy, Young Pharaoh, you know, and everything just was reduced back to the physical body. That was my spiritual classes I took. I was a YouTube addict. You know, I used to look up all the spiritual shit on YouTube. And Travis' class was the only one that I actually paid for.
Wonderful. Oh, just I know. What was the structure of the class? Like how long? How often was it?
I want to say it was for a month, and Travis did pre-recorded videos. It was pre-recorded, and then we would meet up every other Saturday or every Saturday and talked about what we learned from the videos and some of the exercise. Yeah, so the structure was more so we didn't really have much contact that we had with you with Travis.
I'll tell you what, bro. Folks in the guild cohorts, it's like having me on retainer, bro. Like, you gonna see me. It'd be funny, dude. I give you as much time as you want. Motherfuckers will still sit in the shadows, scared to say anything. I don't know how to, I don't know how to do it, but I do what I can. I'm always looking for new ways to figure that out, though. But yeah, I'm when it comes to the cohorts in the guild, bro, I'm trying to give you as much time as I can. Come at your own pace. You want to creep out the shadows? Take your time. I'm gonna be here. You know where to find me. I'm obligated to show up. Not gonna be just once a week. Cause look, man, these folks will have classes, bro. Like, to what degree is it a class? Like, I don't want to test nobody because motherfuckers are scared to test. And then look, you pass the test, you think you like, well, now I'm ready to teach. Nah, that's a whole different other set of tests. That's a different class altogether. Teaching, presenting, that ain't just knowing information. And just being able to repeat what you've heard ain't knowing information. But I'm going to piss myself off. But yeah, in the guild, guys, I make an effort to get you to see frameworks. Not so that you can see my framework and follow me. No, like I said, I want to set you up to where even if you decide to say, fuck you, Arius, and leave and never come back, you can see anyone's framework. They all have the same fundamental pieces. And when you understand the fundamentals of a framework, it don't matter whose framework it is. You can see how it works. It can be very simple. It really can. So that's what I put my emphasis on. Because if you can do that, hell, you can understand my framework and then anyone else's. You can go make a whole nother one, which is what we talk about. That's what people are trying to do in this age in self-initiation, is build a framework from the ground up. And so you need to know the fundamental components of a framework. You trying to make a pie from scratch and all you know is how to make a mud pie? How far you think you gonna get? No, I ain't making no mud pie. This for real. Yeah, that's what every toddler says. Fuck out of here, dude. There are basic fundamentals that have to be considered just to do the bare minimum. Ugh. So that's what I want to set you up for. Being able to see frameworks. So no matter who you go to listen to, like how you can tell you, okay, I can see, he could see Travis talking about the middle path. Like, not just repeating the word, but see what that means. So yeah, a lot of y'all are gonna come through the YouTube sector, right? You're gonna come from looking at a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Look, it's not bad. That's how I started. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. But you're not the only one. It doesn't make you special or unique. And there are pros and cons to it. Okay? There are pros and cons to it. Especially, like I said, out in this atmosphere where motherfuckers can just say anything and motherfuckers go check, fire, facts all day. You don't learn that way. A lot of people will come through the Afrocentric thing. And then, some of those folks who are, heavy melanin, sun gazing with the dreads, shirt off, they're going to give you the God body. They drinking their water, eating a raw carrot as they do the video, right? Raw vegetable, okay. Ooh, I see you, right? That ain't it. God body is garbage. It's worm food. It's worm food. There could be a worm in there right now. Maybe a tapeworm. Ringworm. Bruh, it's walking worm food. I know it feels really motivating. This is the temple of God. So is a piece of shit. You know what's also a temple of God? Sex slaves, right? A antelope being devoured, the nasty black mold in your wall, all of it is the temple of God. So it don't make it unique and special. Like if y'all niggas was just writing poetry, like spiritual poetry, boom, you get it. But y'all motherfuckers is claiming to teach. That's different. You can't just walk in here with poetry and tell me facts. Nah, man, that shit you're doing yourself a disservice, and the motherfuckers who listen to you a disservice. It's your teachers have a responsibility. Real shit. Well, they used to. Now that anyone can be a teacher just because they're saying some shit, that's gone. So yeah, this ain't upgrading and activating your body. Okay? It's not cranial nerves, it's not back oil, DNA spin, 0-point energy, dark matter, quantum quizzlicus, none of that. There's nothing trapped in the body. Ultimate cosmic power. It'll be living space. Aladdin, the genie, right? What the fuck kind of cosmic chaos being are you to be trapped by a piece of meat? That ain't it. There's nothing trapped in the body that's got to get out. This place ain't a prison. And your body is no more God body than a roach is. Than a dead leaf is. It's not special. You're looking in the wrong direction and you're going to miss the whole show. And you won't know because you just in the circle jerk. And everybody saying check, fire, and facts. You finally got someone to listen to you talk about what you think is spirituality. You finally got someone to listen to you and you don't feel crazy no more. You don't feel alone as you had rejecting Christianity, rejecting religion. You don't feel alone no more. You finally feel included again. It's emotionalism. Fuck. I'm gonna play the video game.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level, and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'd come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff, and people, yeah. But everybody's ignorant. You see what I'm saying? They play on your emotion. And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then.
One thing I like about Society Ejects. Just like anyone else, yeah, he'll bullshit himself. Just like anyone else. But he's honest about his shit. He's honest about his shit. When I first heard Bobby Hemmett, that nigga went over my head. I could see it. I got in a little bit, I was like, I can't even digest this. Like, I can't tell what he's doing. I hear words. I don't know enough of what he's talking about to understand whether or not this is just cap. And so I put it down. I respect, look, the side he just said, Bobby him went over my head. So few motherfuckers out here walking around will admit to that. Bobby Hemmett was so deeply misunderstood. So deeply misunderstood. Niggas done grab all kind of ridiculous shit, the smallest, tiniest shit, and just run with it. Run with it and tell niggas to do the research. ain't did the research, but gonna tell niggas to do the research. Yeah, Dawson. Dino Prophets, what's that? That motherfucker really said dinosaurs are spiritual beings. I don't remember the guy's name. He was one of the presenters at the Master Student Conference. Not Dreamwise, one of the other dudes. That nigga, he didn't say it then at the thing, but I had to look up who it was. Like, who is this nigga? I'm looking through the videos, listening to, because I like to do my research, listening to him, and I'm like, this nigga really just, oh hell no, oh hell no. Hey Maestro, good to see you in the chat. Hell yeah, look, I said that specifically for you. Do you feel noticed? Piece of shit, man. But yeah, you gotta be able to recognize when some shit goes over your head. You gotta be able to recognize when some shit goes over your head. And stop wasting your time bullshitting yourself that you understood. Motherfuckers got whole dedicated pages to Bobby. Don't understand this nigga. Well, I love Bobby so much. He the original. You ain't understand none of the shit he was saying. When that nigga said check, what you was supposed to do is let him know you ain't understand. But you thought it was like amen from church. Amen, pastor. We don't say amen here. Shh. Check. Oh, check. Get the fuck out of here. Because he's the teacher. He's taking responsibility. He's checking. You gotta learn to check yourself. Especially if you want to do this shit on your own. You don't get no extra points for doing it on your own. Trust me, I've checked. You don't get no bitches for that shot. You don't get no bitches from that shot. No extra points. Nobody's gonna give a fuck. No extra respect. Look, until some motherfuckers come up and try and do it. Watch. Alright, come on, let's continue.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay, I'm still learning how to use Zoom. Okay, so I was part of so I wasn't following this guy, but he had sent me all these 9-ball books. I don't know if you ever heard of that 9-ball spirituality. I gotta look it up, but it's like new poo and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't like, it was just way off. Like, even when he was explaining to me, I was like, I can't get it, but I still have the books. And then I had become part of this Facebook group, which was called, which I'm so embarrassed to talk about. It was terrible. So anyway, my friend had actually put me onto it because I was heavy into spirituality, and she's like, oh, it's a group, because I was doing it by myself. So, and it basically was a group that was run by this oracle or a tarot reader. And we met up once a week every Monday, either at 9 or 10 o'clock, whenever she woke up, because according to her, she had ADHD, and her ADHD would affect her sleep. And then we would have a monthly masterclass, which is either on spiritual awakening, meditation, whatever, or finding your spiritual niche and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But it was basically based on rituals, affirmations, positive thinking. And what made me realize that I needed to leave that group, because it wasn't based on spirituality. It was based on how to use things spiritually to get a better physical life, whether it was money, love, career, job, you manifest a new house. Like, it was all on wish fulfillment and manifestation.
Wish fulfillment is what people think this stuff is about. Trying to control this, that, and the third. That ain't what this is. I'm not going to tell you you can't do it, but you'll never be able to do it until you can get rid of that desire for that to be the case. And I've had the question multiple times. Well, what's the point if I can't have what I want? Oh, no, this definitely ain't for you. This definitely ain't for you. Because I'm going to tell you this. It's not that you're wrong for asking that. You open the door on this shit, it don't close. When you realize how insignificant you are, bro, when you get into this shit, the shit you thought you wanted just falls away. Like you ask a kid what they want, and they give you some diluted answer that to them is real shit. You gonna get in here, you gonna find out that's the case. And also, this is the other thing. When you're trying to understand this stuff from the perspective of how do I use it to get what I want, you don't understand it. Like, let's say, for instance, somebody wanted to get to know you, but only to the degree to which they could use you to get what they wanted. Would you say that person got to know you? No. See, that's obvious, right? Same thing here. Cars. I talk about this one all the time. If you only understand the car enough to use it, you don't understand it. Yeah, you can drive to the grocery store, but you don't understand the thing. Just like children with their parents. They get what they want. As a matter of fact, their whole idea of what parents are. Oh, it's supposed to get shit. Give me what I need. Give me what I want. Protect me. It's for me. It's for me. It's for me. It's my mommy. And they miss a lot. Not to say whether or not it's right or wrong, should or shouldn't happen. Side point. It's natural. It's what happens. But eventually, you're supposed to grow out of that. Because real shit, and I'm going to play this, I'm going to start it back up after this. Like I said, I won't tell you you can't get what you want. But what I will say is if you're going to get close to it at all, before you can even get close to being able to get the things you want, you're going to have to walk through everything you don't want. You can't just put on the table the things you want. You have to fill that table up with shit you might not want either. Okay, you want to have money. Cool. If you're going to put that on the table, you also got to put the possibility of you never getting money on the table. Dying broke. Look, to win a game, there has to be a possibility of losing. It's fucking default participation trophy age. To win a game, there must be the possibility of loss. If you can't contend with the possibility of loss, you won't get to a win. You can't get to this stuff trying to avoid something else. Some motherfuckers want money because they don't want to be broke. Some motherfuckers want love because they don't want to be alone. You don't want money, you just don't want to be broke. You don't want love, you just don't want to be alone. And those are very different things. You can't see that though when you're looking through your own bullshit and self-delusion. And motherfuckers will sell you on that shit. I kick myself in the ass for not doing this sometimes. I can play a role. I'm the fucking ego. I can play a role. Sell it good, boy. I get that good role. Play a spooky tune or two. Nah. See, I put on the binaural beat. That's what I would do, right? Hit you with the binaural beat. Ooh-wee. Ooh. Perfect idea. See, I'll tell you, I'm good at this. I hit the binaural beat, but I put a little bit of a drum beat on it, right? So then I make sure I let you know it's a binaural beat. I'd probably even sell a CD, right? Or a little folder MP3s on that shit. Let's stop. Get the fuck out of here. Get them, man. Yeah, man, motherfuckers will sell that shit to you because you asking for it. Just like a mother ice cream man gonna come around and sell that ice cream to the kid. Just like that. Just like that, man. All this wish fulfillment ain't what spirituality is about. It's about participating in the larger cosmic reality. It's about participating in a larger cosmic reality. Period. That ain't got shit to do with what you want. Our lives are not our own. What you mean it's not mine? I want to do what I want to do. I want some control. You don't want control. You don't want to not have control. That's different. Control comes with responsibility. Control comes with duty. You motherfuckers want to be in authority without the responsibility, without the duty. That's a tyrant. Toddlers, 2-year-olds are tyrants. You want the authority and the control without the responsibility and the duty? You're a tyrant. I'll be damned if you get anywhere with that. Fuck out of here. All this wish fulfillment and motivation. Admit to yourself that you don't like yourself. Deal with that. Like, actually look at it. Don't just numb yourself to it. Fuck me. Like, we can't even get the spiritual shit sometimes because niggas got basic stuff. I'll be alright. I'll be alright.
There was no, only time she would have PowerPoints was during her monthly class, but it wasn't much. There was no fundamentals. There was no framework. There was no philosophy. There was no shadow work. There was no references. She was the reference. There was no black books. There were no deities. There were no tools. Oops, sorry. And if we did deal with deities, it wasn't about uncovering your own deities. It was about working with deities that already exist. And they were generally like black deities, like, you know, like Yoruba, Hoodoo deities, Egyptian deities. And that's about it. Yeah. So I saw the limitation in the group. And then with the manifestations and the wish fulfillment, I realized like I don't need to do rituals to get more money. I can just go work overtime. You know, like I'm not right. I'm not saying they didn't work, right? Because we would do the rituals, and then I would notice like I would get like I have 2 side businesses, and I would realize orders would come in. But I'm like, if I didn't have the side businesses, there would be no orders. So that's something I physically did in my physical life. So I was like, this group is a sham because I don't need any of this stuff. Or if there's something I physically want, like a better relationship with my husband, I can have a conversation with my husband and ask him, hey, what can I do for you to make this relationship better? I don't need to do a love spell. Like, wasting my time. So in doing that, I literally, I took away everything. I took away all, like I broke down my altar, anything ritualistic or having to do with ceremonies, spells, anything. I got rid of all of it. And I realized I was yielding the same results. She'd be like, oh, let's do a money ritual. And money would still come in regardless. So I was like, okay, this group isn't for me. So that's how I was like, I need to get out of this group. And then from there, someone would tell me about Brother Panic. And I was like, okay. And I watched one Brother Panic video, and it was like 5 hours long. And I wanted to shoot myself listening to that video. I don't know how people listen to Panic. No offense to them, but it was just, you know how I feel about Panic. I don't have to explain. But what helped me was he told me to get a book, and me being my black ass self, I was like, I want to buy this book from a black owned, store. And that's how I ended up finding you, because I found Cassis. And then I reached out to her and I was like, this is really great that you guys have this store and you guys look like me. And then we was like, oh, let's be friends like girls do. And So then we started having conversations, and then we would have spiritual conversations. She was like, "Yo, you really need to speak to my husband." And I was like, "I'm not talking to your man. Like, no, that's absolutely not." And she's like, "No, I'm serious. I give you permission to talk to him." And then that's how I ended up having a conversation with you from there.
Okay, so aside from the group, you hadn't like set up a class before. I'd also like you guys to keep in mind what the fuck passes for a class these days. What the fuck passes for a consultation these days? Because look, I can teach a class. I built the class from the ground up. I'm a consultant, so I don't just offer consultations. It's what I do. You want an hour-long conversation? Fine, I'll sell it to you. Even my hour-long conversation is better. Because you're going to get the recording. And you're not going to maybe get the recording. You're going to get the recording. Fuck you mean. But I don't like doing that. Because I don't think that's a consultation. It's a 1 hour long pick my brain session. Nah. We going to get up in that. It's about you. You gotta get in there. That's why I like doing the multiple calls, and I want them to be more than an hour, because see, there needs to be mad. It needs to be more than an hour. Most of this stuff is stuff you've never spoken to anyone about. It's gonna come out like vomit. I'm used to that. But we have to go back and work through that. All right. So like so Kaiju Creator and Society EJ never had consultations with me. But Glitch and Rocky have had consultations before. Well, I mean, they'll probably speak about it a little bit here. I don't remember actually. But yeah, what people offer as consultations is trash. Real shit is trash. And I will equally say, what people offer as a class is trash. Give you 1 day a week. 1 day a week, and that's the only time you have access to them. Not to mention, not even being live. Are you going to lecture, or are we just going to come, everybody going to say whatever they want to say, and then that's class? Nah, chill out, bro. Chill out. Look, in the guild, I have what I call the black books, okay? I know niggas don't like to read. Give you the pictures. You can download these. I have them as PDFs and as images. They're the basic outline for everything we talk about. Okay? They're the basic outline for everything we talk about. So you can download this however you want to. These are original. I didn't get this from somebody's book. Fuck you mean, bruh? Like, I don't know how many teachers I see that just read books. I'm not telling you not to read a book, but like what they're teaching is just repeating someone else's book. You could have read the book, and the only reason that shit really is hitting, because you ain't gonna read the book. Bro, y'all niggas want books? Like, look, okay. The black books are what I use for the classes, okay? So they have exactly what we talk about. And I don't just read the page. Like, I know the lecture backward and forwards. I know where we're going to go. I know how we're going to go. I can give it to you in my sleep. Fuck. You niggas want books, bro? This ain't even half. All this shit right here, bro. Like, please, whatever you want, like, come get it. If there's a subject I don't have right here, because I don't have every subject right here. If there's a subject I don't have right here available, holler at me. Holler at me. Because I got it. You can have books, but you ain't going to read them no way. Fuck you mean? You don't. And look, bro. The only reason the books are anything is so you can start to see what people used to do in order to understand what you're going to do. To see what people used to do. To understand what you going to do. If y'all don't get that, motherfuckers think they been in the secret book. Nigga, you bought that shit on Amazon. What you mean a secret book? I'm telling you, niggas ain't understand. But Bobby ain't getting no Amazon. That nigga had to dig for a book. Fuck you mean, man. Y'all niggas is crazy, bro. Y'all niggas is crazy. All that shit is dead. That shit is over with. It's old. When the niggas say this shit is over, it's not the white man is gonna crumble, bro. All them old systems are dead. Those old systems are dead. The systems are made to fit specific people in a specific place at a specific time. That shit is dead. You can claim to be the ancestor of them motherfuckers, but that means you gotta pick up the mantle and continue to work. Build it from the ground up. I'm so serious. But nah, Eris, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. I'm doing it. I be damned. Fuck out of here. Yeah, so in the guild, I teach out of the black books. So that way when you get the recordings, you have something to follow back through. Okay? So there's one for each subject I talk about. The 3 A's of Practical Magick is 3 months. So each month we go over one of the A's of Practical Magick. Ascension, ancestors, altars. All of these are the basic fundamentals. They're the floor of the bottom floor. I mean, if y'all niggas been living in the basement though, so I get it's so much different. I'm so serious though. It's the floor of the bottom floor. You come in here with your chest out you want to, boy. Watch me hit you. Look, I got one for each one, and we do shadow work. Look, each month has an A. Shadow work is every month. Every month. 3 times a month, we're doing a shadow work sessions. Okay? So not only do we have the scheduled sessions. Here, let me show you a calendar. You think I'm playing, bruh? Like, look, you get the recordings. I'm gonna get you the recording. And you ain't gonna have to wait a month for it either. Fuck you talking about. All the yellow is when class is in session. These are the scheduled times for the official sessions. All you gotta do is holler at me. Your schedule don't fit? Holler at me. We'll set something up. Don't care. This is what it is for. Fuck you mean? A single day out the weekend? All we did was just listen to everybody say what they wanted to say? So every now and then, I'm not gonna lie. Every now and then, that's really good. Because when you in the guild, bro, I want to make sure you get a chance to say what you need to say. You get a safe space to stumble through these ideas. Because this shit is not easy if you've never done it. Why do my eyes hurt, Morpheus? You never used them, Neo. I'm telling you haven't done it before. I don't care how long you've been repeating people's words. You haven't done this. I can tell from a mile away. Not just because I'm better than you, but because I was you. So yeah, all the yellow classes in session. The blue, we're having vacation. Okay? Because I'm not just going to hit you every day all the time because it's already a lot of stuff. Give you some time, right? You get all the recordings, and I keep track of the recordings. So you don't even have to be responsible for that. Look, I got the recordings from each month. And not only do we have lectures, not only do you get the recordings, there is homework. There are assignments. No, I'm not going to grade you, but I can tell you this. If you never do any of the assignments, you're not going to understand. Because it's one thing to hear me say something. It's another thing for you to touch it for yourself. Look, you see some titties over there. Damn, things look good. What? That's one thing. It's not bad. But that? Come on, that's different now. You walk up that titty and just, come on, that's different. That's what I'm saying. You could be at the pool and you not wet. If you in the pool, nigga, you wet. Right? You can stand next to a woman. Okay, but if you embracing her, that's different. You have to do both. You have to do both. Because in your experience, You're going to learn things I couldn't tell you. And that's necessary. Well, no, fuck Arius, though, because he's mean, and he's not nice, and he doesn't tickle my balls. Fuck you guys. Y'all go to the Diddy party for that shit. I'm a piece of shit, man. I'm sorry. And Molly, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Hell yeah, that's soft titty. What? And, you know, there's plenty of stuff in here for you guys. So it's not just show up and listen. There's places for you guys to actually share with each other. Okay? So it's not just you. I know what it's like to go up in these streets with nobody. It's not fun. You don't get no extra points for that shit. And you end up breaking things you probably didn't need to break. It's not fun. It's not more official. For hundreds of thousands of years, this work has been done in community. You go ahead and look down on that you want to, trying to repeat something Panic said. Fuck around and find out. Trust me. Because most of these motherfuckers, they have a 4th grade reading level. They don't speak good English. Ready to tell you this, that, and the third and what they understood. What stop? How that nigga read a paragraph out loud? Did they pick up a dictionary? No. Whatever though, right? Whatever though. I forgot where I was at. Pissed. So yeah, this ain't just a day or two on the weekend. This is class. Fuck you mean. And this ain't even class the way I really want it to be class. This is class the way it can be palatable. The shit that passes for class out here is disgraceful. And you're taught to give people who are spiritual this super huge leeway. Look, I get it. Some shit gonna be different in learning spirituality versus anything else. You right. Some shit gonna be different. I'm gonna tell you what ain't gonna be different. My responsibility to you as my student. I'm gonna tell you when you don't understand. And I'm gonna, oh my God, I'm gonna go out of my way to make it as palatable and comfortable as I can. Oh my God. I'm gonna know the subject well enough to approach it from several angles and not just the angle I got out of a book. You're going to have access to me to ask your questions. You're going to need to ask questions. It's perfectly natural to do it. You know, get past the fear of I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to look like I don't know. I don't want to look like I'm the only one in here who don't get it. It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. Motherfuckers swear they're the only one. No, listen. Listen to the other people talking. Oh shit, I'm like that too. Yeah, I know. I'm saying we spend so much time dealing with bullshit. It's alright though. It's teaching. It's teaching. So gotta be ready for it. Gotta be ready for it. Not the freak offs. What the freak offs? What? You were saying 3 as one a month. Shadow work every month. Here, let me know. Let me show you again. Let me show you again. Scroll up. There we go. So yeah, it's 3 months long. It's a continuous cohort class. Okay? So the fact that you have cohorts, I try and emphasize it as much as I can. Because your cohorts are more valuable than I am. Real shit. Real shit. You got full of YouTube full of me. Okay? Your cohorts are invaluable. But this one right here, SS, Shadow Work Saturdays. So each month, we have a 3-week consecutive block. Okay? You can look on the calendar. Every month has a block of 3 consecutive weeks. Okay? And so we use those 3 consecutive weeks, classes in session. We'll have shadow work Saturdays. On Saturday, same time. I give you the schedule. You can put it in your calendar, whatever you need to do. And the session will be recorded. So if you need to go back and listen to the recording, you're free to do what you want. Look, only person who's obligated to show up and perform is me. That's my duty. So yeah, every month. So there's 3 months. Each month we go over a different A of Practical Magick, Ascension, Ancestors, Altars. Each one for each of the 3 months. Every month we're doing shadow work. Every month we're doing shadow work. It's that important. It's that important. It's not just because, look, man, you can ask these motherfuckers, bro. It's not going to feel good. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. And look, I'll be here if you want to not like me, to help ease the pain. Go ahead. I'm good. But yeah, it's going to suck. It's going to suck. I'm sure you can do it. You'd be surprised how equipped you are. But it's going to suck. It's going to suck. Teachers that act like shadow work is once every 5 years task or a big red flag, shady ass motherfucker. Because they tell people what they want to hear. People like to think, I can get in here, get done with shadow work. Why? Because now they're the person who can look down. You might want to do your shadow work. I've done my shadow work. And so, it's like wiping your ass. You do it every day. At first you're no good at it. Then you have to get good at it. And you do it forever. This isn't something you do so that you can eventually get to a point where you don't have to do it no more. Shit gonna stink every day. And you gotta wipe every day. Maximum effort. You don't get credit for how much you wiped yesterday. You don't get credit for how much you wiped yesterday. Shit, bro. All right, let me get back to the interview. Gone into a class. Mm-hmm.
No. The only class, like I said, I was part of the group, and I wouldn't even call it a class. It was just a group. It was just a group for people to kind of, I'm going to say something that's not really nice, but I found that in that group, these were lazy people, right? And they needed accountability partners, even though they weren't being accountable. And they just needed a place to go and trauma dump their shit. And I'm like, this is not what I'm here for. I don't need to trauma dump. If I need to go do something, I go out and I do it. So I realized like this wasn't the group for me. But I'm grateful for that group because it showed me what I didn't need, which was, and I saw how moving forward, I was able to see other groups and realize like you guys are here just for positive self-talk and to boost up your confidence. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm really looking for knowledge, and I'm looking for a framework, something that I can to work with to enhance my spirituality. And none of that stuff was enhancing my spirituality. It wasn't even enhancing my physical life. So that's when I realized that's how I ended up with you. When I got with your group, it was nothing like I experienced before. Like I said, there was no books to reference. And I'm not even talking about the text. I'm talking about the black books. Because before the black books, you had the boot camp. There was no boot camp before. I never worked with a boot camp. There wasn't emphasis on studying and philosophy and even reading the dictionary. Nobody told me to read the dictionary before, right? Because, and I know that seems like common sense, but no one ever said, yo, you need to read a dictionary to get an understanding of what these words are and to make them a part of your everyday vocabulary. So you know what you're talking about. So these words aren't just fluffy, floofy words, that you have an understanding of the words that you're using. There was no framework. There was no shadow work. Like the shadow work that we did it was basically about, it wasn't shadow work, it was positive affirmation. So you can feel better about yourself, right? And I'm not saying that's not important, but that's a very minuscule part of the work.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level, and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'll come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff and people, yeah. But everybody's ignorant. You see what I'm saying? They play on your emotion. And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Yeah. All right then.
Right? I wouldn't even say that's part of the work. That's something you should just be doing, period. Whether you're doing spirituality or not, you need to feel great about yourself. But that's what the shadow work was. So yes. And like I said, there was no instruction on how to uncover the personal deities within yourself. It was just use the deities that already exist, which I'm not opposed to and against to, but I've never heard anyone discuss uncovering your own deities. So that's what really made me want to work with you.
But the other, I hate what passes for class these days. Like, see, I'm not the motherfucker that's gonna tell you all the scientists are lying to you. I mean, shit, that's the nigga, that's them motherfuckers you got dark matter and particles from. So you gonna take that, but then in the same breath say these niggas is lying to you? What stop? But I get it, because it's easier to do that than it is to admit to yourself, I don't know what I'm looking at. Especially after having found yourself destitute when it came to religion. Jesus ain't real. I look like a fool. You're doing it again. And I'm the only nigga real enough to tell you. You go to anybody else's block, they gonna fuck you and send you on your way. And you wonder why your ass hurt walking down the street. Nah, I ain't messing with you. I don't want none of that dookie. Billy alone. Hey, bro, what's going on with your walk? That's right here on you. Yeah, it's right here. Nah, ain't got no tissue, bro. I guess get tissue. Only nigga enough to tell you. At the risk of you being upset with me. At the risk of you not shopping with me. Cool. Oh, shit. My bad. There we go. Sorry. Oh, Gerald Sunbright, good to see you in the show. Good to see you in the chat, man. Yeah, sorry. I run the whole show myself. Mistakes happen. But yeah, bro. It's a damn shame what passes for class. It's a damn shame what passes for class. Spirituality is a lifelong work. Motherfuckers will sell you the dream that they can microwave you. 7 easy steps to manifest. Ooh, right? I like easy. I like simple steps. And I get what I want. You getting fucked. Hey, man, but look, I walk in the room. I heard you was back there with Diddy. I walk in. I said, hey, man, what is going on? We tapping in. Is that jelly? It's cosmic jelly. You don't understand, Aries. Nah, bruh. Something else going on here, man. I'm looking. Something else going on. You just got the other motherfuckers in there. Get ready to give you a different flavor of jelly. Check. Fire. Fat. Try the strawberry. Something's wrong here. Like, I say it like that when I'm a dick. I actually love the subject. Like, I don't know if y'all niggas are good at something. Like, imagine something you could. Imagine you was a gymnast, right? Imagine you a gymnast. You practice, you study. You know gymnasts. You know, like not just personally. You know the history of gymnasts, right? You can name some gymnasts. You know who came up with the triple flip beam posture. Like you know who came up with that shit. Like then you idolize a few of them, and you know you good. You know, okay, you teach. Nah, I'm still learning. And then you see some weak nigga, right? Telling niggas they selling them gymnastics class. And it's just fancy stretching. You do karate. You done studied to get the black belt. Right? You done the drills. You know the forms. You studied under the masters. You even taught your own classes. And then you see some motherfucker on Facebook. $50 Zoom karate class. Black belt in 3 months. Yeah, it's tapping in, right? Look. Let he who would be deceived be deceived. It's a maximum of law. See, the tricksters don't lie to you. Yeah, I'm a tricky motherfucker. I'll trick you. Yep, me. I'm lying to you though. I'm a dick. Right? I'm having some fun at your expense, and I will. But I'm not lying to you. I could. It'd be easier and it'd be funny, but I'm not lying to you. The tricksters don't lie to you. I'm not lying to you. Like, bruh, see, I'm not telling you no secret hidden shit. This is shit you could look up. You could have been looked up, and it's a damn shame the motherfuckers who've been instructing you never thought to tell you. Why? Because they don't know what you need to know. Because they don't even know it. So that's the first 2 questions from the interview. Over the next couple episodes here, as I close this out, we're gonna go through the rest of the interview. Because like I said, I really appreciate the cohorts from the guild volunteering to participate in the interview. No incentive. It's just say, hey guys, look, I want to do this. As always, you're not required to show up, but if you'd be willing to, I'd really appreciate it. You know, hey, here are the questions I'm going to ask. I plan on putting this on YouTube. You know, if you like to show up, show up. And they showed up and showed out. I tell you, man, I'm not a big fan of teaching, but like when motherfuckers start to get it, I can't help but be proud. Not because I did it, because they did it. Shit. I already do what I do. Fuck you mean. So yeah, links in the description, guys. That's all the information you need. Like you hit the link, it's gonna take you to the details. Okay, you can get all this. You can download. You can take it. You can do what you want with it. You get the Bookman model. So this is the framework that I use to do the teaching. It's the basics. I spend this whole show talking about it. You really want to do this for free without me? Please, I'm giving you all the tools. Go ahead. I've seen you before. I've been you. I know where you're gonna fall. But fuck me, right? Do your thing. Do your thing. Here's the calendar. I show you exactly when things are. Exactly how the whole thing works. You can get all the details. Okay? You even want to know what the guild is about? Get a little more info? As if 61 live streams ain't enough? It's fine. Don't be upset. Look, bro, we got it all. I got it all there for you. Click the link. If, I don't know, clicking the link may be too much. There's some memes, there's some reels, and there's questions other people have asked. All this you can look at for free. All this you can engage with for free. Not a problem. You know where to find me. I'm not difficult to find. Okay? But yeah, guys, welcome week is coming back around. Here, let me pull up the thing. Boom. March 30th to April 5th, the doors are going to be open. I do a single week. All right, because I don't want to spend the whole 3 months trying to bring people in and out, dealing with money. Somebody comes in 2 months late, and somebody coming in 2 months late is different from somebody who sat around for 2 months and chose not to engage. I kind of have to deal with the latter. I don't want to have to deal with the former too. Okay. So yeah, I make sure I spend a whole week taking care of the money stuff, making sure everybody's onboarded, so that when it's time to start the show, we can do it. This is an expedition through the fundamentals of Practical Magick, not just the Bookman model, but whatever model you're trying to use. Unless, of course, it's physicalism. But, Al Dickey. Oh, did I say hi? I saw you up there. Good to see you, man. So yeah, guys. That's the show for today. I tried to keep it short because I know the rest of these interview questions are kind of longer. But I don't mind because I'm going to do the whole show with it. And like I said, I really appreciate them volunteering. So that's me for today. In the guild, it's vacation week. So we end the season with a week of vacation. So I'm still here. I'm always on duty. The cohorts get a vacation. So no sessions. We may even watch something. I don't know. I'll figure it out though. I'm busy working to make sure I have everything they need and I'm set up for the next season. You ride the roller coaster. I do the maintenance. All right, y'all. I appreciate you showing up. Appreciate the cohorts even more. Y'all have a wonderful day, man.